Hey guys, welcome back to the Bariatric Cheerleader. It's Coach Kathy Richardson. I've lost 150 pounds and I'm here to help you meet and maintain your weight loss goals too. And today we're talking about 75 hard. Who should do it, who shouldn't, and what my experience was like with it. So if you want to find out more, stick around. So yes, I am a 75 hard alumni. If you don't know what 75 hard is, but you've maybe seen about it on social media or on YouTube, we're going to talk about that today. So 75 hard is a program devised by Andy Frisella, who has a very cool rags to riches self-empowerment story of how he became a very multimillionaire entrepreneur, world known, the whole shebang. And his story is really cool. You can learn about it by reading his book, 75 Hard, which I have right here. And he also has a podcast. So I think it's called like the Mother Effing CEO or something. I don't know. Andy's pretty hardcore, but he's taught me a lot. And this program taught me a lot. And I'm very glad I did it. So I started 75 Hard on January 1st of 2021. At that point, I had been on the wait list for bariatric surgery for 6 years. And I sort of just thought it was never going to happen. I had learned about 75 Hard through a friend, and I had known another friend who had just recently completed it, and the results looked really impressive to me. I was just really motivated that year. We had closed a business during COVID and opened a new business. 2020 sucked for me all around. One of my very good friends ended up dying of ovarian cancer at 38 years old, a mom of 3. And I just thought, I want to not let life pass me by. I want to grab life by the horns. I want to do all the things I didn't think I was capable of doing, even though I was morbidly obese at the time, even though my MS was just about out of control and it seemed like the whole world was at the time. I wanted to know that I could do hard things. The best part about this program, and the thing that I liked about it the best, was that it was actually marketed as a mental toughness program. And I was feeling, like I said, like the whole world was crumbling around me. This was during the pandemic, and like I said, opening a business, closing a business, having a kid in university, another one about to graduate. Like things were just crazy in my life at the time. And I wanted to be able to control the things I could control. And so knowing that this was about mental toughness, I was like, sign me up. So 75 Hard has 5 different mandatory requirements that you have to do every single day with zero compromise for 75 days in a row. If you fail on any one component or even compromise on it, you're done. You start right back at day 1. Less than 3% of people who start 75 Hard will complete it on the first try. So the first component is the one that people fail the most, and it's the easiest. It's a daily selfie. They even make an app. You can buy it. It's $6 and you have it for life. And it will take your picture for you and store it on that app. And it will actually give you little reminders if there's any of your tasks that you haven't completed yet before midnight, because if you don't do it by midnight that night, it's a fail. You'll have a little buzzer go off. And app's a great thing. I highly recommend you purchasing it if you're going to do it, and you can take your selfies right on there. So when you take your picture, you are going to be in a full-length mirror, preferably wearing the same outfit every single time and wearing basically as little as possible. You do not need to be naked, but like bra and panties for a girl, or bikini or bathing suit or sports bra and activity shorts. And guys, just wear a pair of shorts or your underwear or whatever. But it's tough to see yourself in a full-length mirror every single day. And especially when you're not seeing noticeable fast changes, because this does not produce fast results. And that's one of the reasons why it's a requirement. And he talks about this on his podcast and in his book. But I'm so glad I did it. And I continue to do that on my weight loss journey now, almost 4 years in. It really makes a big difference when you feel like you haven't seen the scale move, or you feel like nothing's working and you're putting in all this work, but then you go look at a picture from 3 months ago and you're like, wow, things have really changed. The second component is to drink 1 gallon of plain water. This is plain, and it's the full gallon. So you're not going to be adding a slice of lemon, some Mio drops, some electrolytes, some mint, some Crystal Light, none of that. 1 gallon of plain water. If you need to take medication that has to have supplements or something added to it, that does not count towards your 1 gallon. And you can absolutely drink things in addition to that 1 gallon, but you still have to drink that 1 gallon. Nothing added to it. Why? Because it's hard. It's hard to drink that much water every single day. It's hard to drink plain water every single day. This is a big hang up for some people, and some people tap out and don't even start 75 hard because of the water. The next one is one that I love. A lot of these books I use during the program. You're going to read 10 pages from a nonfiction, preferably self-help book a day, every single day for those 75 days. If you get reading and it's 3/4 of the way down, keep going and read the next page. You're better off to over read than under read. And if you start reading a book and you don't like it, you still finish it. Why? Because it's hard. It is miserable to read something that you don't like or that you're not interested in. But that's why it's 75 hard. It's not 75 easy. If you start a book, you have to finish it. So other than that, there's not really any requirements other than it's nonfiction, and if you start it, you finish it. So some people choose to do the Bible, and that's fine, but just know you're probably not going to finish the Bible in that 75 days. But a lot of people do the Bible. I did do the Bible in one of my phases, but kind of towards the end when I'd finished another book, just because I knew I wasn't going to have time to finish it. But yeah, very beneficial. The number one book that I would recommend to read is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's all about making little changes every single day that add up over time and produce big results. Component number 4 is the diet component. A lot of people think you have to eat keto or you have to eat low carb or you have to eat carnivore. No, Andy's only requirement is that you choose the diet that you want to do for the next 75 days. But the caveats are there's no alcohol whatsoever, no matter what, not a drop or you fail. And a lot of people abstain from cannabis during this too. And there's no cheat meals. You cannot do the 80-20 rule during this. This is 100%. There's no just 80. There's no chocolate. There's no sweets. There's no cheats or treats. There's some debate in the 75 hard social media posts as to whether even chocolate covered protein bars count. I'll leave that up to you. I'm not your babysitter for 75 hard or anything else. But just know if you're eating it with the intentions of it being a treat or a sweet, or you're eating to emotionally satisfy, it's going to be a fail. The only time Andy does say that you can change your diet is if that diet is not serving you as far as energy needs for doing 75 hard, because it does have a very strong physical component, which we're going to talk about next. But say you started off plant-based and you find, a week and a half in, you're not getting enough protein and you're really getting weak and fatigued and dizzy, or your blood sugar's dropping or something. That is the time that Andy does say it's okay to change your diet, but you can't change it just because it's hard. So some people will start off very strict keto and they're not going to eat more than 20 net carbs a day. And then they start missing sweet potatoes and they think like, well, I'm going to change my diet because I miss sweet potatoes. No, that doesn't count. The final component is the very physical component, and this is where there's probably the most misconceptions of. You are required to do 2 workouts a day, every single day. Each workout must be 45 minutes apiece, and those 45 minutes are a consecutive 45 minutes for your first workout, but then you have to have a minimum 3-hour break before you do your next consecutive 45-minute workouts. They can't be done back to back. Why? Because it's hard. It's really easy to go for a 45-minute walk, come inside and lift weights and stretch for 45 minutes and then be done for the day. It's a lot harder to do a really good workout, be tired from it, get cooled down, change out of those sweaty clothes, be relaxed for the rest of the day. Know you have one more workout to do. And the crazy part is one of those 2 workouts a day must be done outside no matter what. Rain, sleet, sun, snow, doesn't matter. I'm in Canada. I did this starting January 1st. I walked in literally everything. Torrential downpours, ice storms, pellets hitting my face, minus 35 with wind chill temperatures where my eyelashes froze. I bought a balaclava so that just only my eyes were exposed and my eyelashes froze a few times doing this. I walked during blizzards and snowstorms. There is the caveat Andy does give: if the temperature or the weather is so severe that it could kill you, then no. Obviously, if it's a Cat 4 hurricane outside, or if there's a tornado touchdown across the street, don't go out and get your workout done. Wait until that weather passes and then do it, or that's the only time it's okay to be done inside. But what doesn't count for outside workouts is just opening your garage door and doing it in your garage, or doing it out on the lanai with a cover because it's raining. No, you get your butt out there and you dress appropriately and you do it because it's hard. So you're going to be very sore doing this, and It's an eye-opener, but there are no actual requirements. I know a lot of people who have completed 75 hard simply by doing 2 walks of 45 minutes each a day, one of them being outside. That counts. You do not have to bust your butt at the gym. I don't even live near a gym. I haven't been in a gym on this entire journey of losing 150 pounds, and I'm not about to start. And I certainly didn't do it during 75 hard, and my 75 hard still count. I bought hand weights, I had kettlebells, I bought a yoga mat and did Pilates. I used YouTube a lot. I bought the resistance strength training bands. I bought a rebounder. So I just kind of created my own home gym with very affordable, very doable things, and it absolutely made me stronger and helped change my body. So if you miss one task, even if you're on day 74 and you forget to take that picture, guess what? You're an instant fail and you go back to day 1. Okay, it's hard for a reason. It's not 75 easy. It's not 75 semi-hard, or as Andy would call it, 75 cupcake. You're going to see a lot of people say they're doing 75 hard and then they're like, oh, well, I just have to have lemon in my water. Oh, well, I think it's crazy to work outside and work out outside because it's too hot, so I did it inside. And, okay, that's a 75 cupcake. That doesn't count. So I also did go on to do phase 1 and phase 2. They both have additional requirements that I'm not really going to get into today, but they do include crazy things like a mandatory 5-minute ice cold shower every single day for 30 days. There's different visualization tactics and different small habit forming tactics that you do. So I did phase 1 and phase 2. I couldn't complete phase 3 because I ended up having my vertical sleeve surgery. So after successfully completing 75 hard, phase 1 and phase 2 with 0 compromises, 0 restarts, and entering that less than 3% who start 75 hard are going to finish, and then less than 1% are going to continue on to the phases and complete those first try. Even with an MS attack, I still did it. So if I can do it, you can do it. But I want you to know that 75 hard is not for everyone. If you have a history of disordered eating, or you have an injury that's going to prevent you from doing this, at the very least, get this cleared with your doctor first, because this is going to challenge you like nothing you've ever done before. Another thing that I want you to know is, although I did lose 35 pounds during 75 hard because my start weight was 267 pounds, and that was after losing at least 20 pounds from intermittent fasting, don't expect huge weight loss. I had significant weight loss because I started on a much bigger end of the spectrum. I was morbidly obese when I did 75 hard. Again, another example of why if I can do it, anybody can for the most part. But yeah, this is not a weight loss program. If you're doing this for weight loss purposes, you might be sorely disappointed. This is not about watching that scale go down. Another thing to be prepared for if you choose to do this is most people aren't going to want you to. People are going to try to talk you out of it. So my advice is 75 hard's like Fight Club. Rule number 1 of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. Don't talk about 75 hard. Nobody cares. I mean, my husband did. He was very supportive of me, but I found I was talking about it with my friends and they're like, yeah, okay, we're not doing it, so we don't care. Very discouraging for some people because they're not able to do it, or people just think it's crazy, or most people aren't going to understand. So just don't talk about it. Don't feel the need to justify why you're doing it to other people. Just stay in your own lane and you do you. Another thing is when you complete it, then and only then is the requirement to be able to wear this puppy. You only get the 75 hard t-shirt if you've completed 75 hard. It's kind of like wearing captain stripes if you've never been to captain school and you're not a captain. You just don't do it. If anybody from 75 hard sees this t-shirt, they immediately know that we ain't the same as everybody else. You're part of a very elite, small sect of society, and it's kind of like a brotherhood. And it's gross and weird to try to pretend that you've done it. So you only get one of these t-shirts and you only wear it when you've completed it. However, you can buy one in advance to motivate you, and that's exactly what I did. This was hanging up in my closet, and I would look at it every single day when I was sore, when I was tired, when I was having that MS attack, and I just wanted to stay in bed, but I wanted to wear this t-shirt. This can be very motivating, and if you see someone in the grocery store wearing this, you should be a little impressed, and I am. I absolutely am. I give them a high five, and I know what it took for them to be able to wear this t-shirt. You're going to hear a lot of people say, oh, it's not sustainable. I don't recommend people doing that because it's not sustainable. Well, thanks, Captain Obvious. It's not supposed to be. If this was easy enough to do every single day for the rest of your life, it wouldn't be hard, and everybody would do it, and everybody would be walking around with these t-shirts. It's really freaking hard. It's not sustainable. That's why it is for a certain amount of days. A big piece of advice I have is take advantage of active rest days. The fastest thing that will take you out of 75 hard, besides your own mental weakness up here, is going to be an injury, and you don't want that. So be smart about your workouts. Don't go rake balls to the wall on day 1 and 2 right off the bat and take yourself right out of the game. Take advantage of active rest days. Be sure you're walking. Be sure you're stretching. Be sure you're taking care of your muscles. If you have one of those like percussion gun massager things, that is very, very useful on this journey. Epsom salts baths. Take your BCAAs, which are branched chain amino acids that are going to help with DOMS, which is delayed onset of muscle soreness. You are going to be more sore than you ever knew you could be, even if you're not going at it hard in the gym. Even walking twice a day, every day for 75 days in a row, if you've been sedentary before, is going to be a huge challenge. Take care of your body on this journey. Embrace the suck. Embrace those days that you didn't want to get out of bed and you did it anyway. Embrace those days when it is minus 35 with wind chill and you've got frozen eyelashes. It all just adds to the badassery of this, and it helps you be motivated, and it really makes you appreciate those good days too, because there's going to be some hard days and there's going to be some good days. Be prepared to do a lot of laundry. Holy smokes. I actually had to go buy like extra sports bras and things because you're just sweating and working out so much, and your clothes are going to be able to get up and walk away on their own if you're not doing a lot of laundry. So that's one of the things that people enjoy on day 76, is having a break from laundry day. I absolutely recommend joining the social media groups for encouragement. Just know there's some crazies on there too. You're going to have people on either end of the spectrum. You're going to have the diehard zealots, and you're going to have the cupcakes and everything in between. But I did find it was beneficial to be part of the groups, and it was very motivating to see people's before and after pictures and to know what books that they were reading and what diets they were doing. So yeah, if that's for you, community can be very empowering and supportive. So find your grit. Maybe this is for you, and if it is, I hope you're super successful, because I'll tell you, there's just something about that day 75. Everybody around me knew I was doing it because I chose to share my selfie every day on my workout with my social media. And so I got a lot of encouragement that way. And I know that kind of says like rule number 1 of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, but people don't have to follow my page. If they're having a conversation with you across the room, they sort of have to listen, but nobody has to follow you on social media. So I use my social media presence to promote it, and for support, and for encouragement, and to let people know as an MS survivor and an MS warrior that I can do hard things. And so it was very beneficial for me to do that. And on day 75, like I had a lady from church make me a cake for the next day because she knew I could finally have a piece of cake the next day. And I had people high-fiving me. I had other people who did it because they saw me do it. So yes, find your grit, embrace the suck. And if it's for you, and if you're cleared with your doctor, I hope you give it a try, because it is awesome on the other side. And once you're a 75 Hard alum, you're just part of an elite group that most people won't be. So let me know in the comments down below if you think you've ever tried it. If you have done it, how many of the phases did you do? If you have any questions for me about doing it after bariatrics or doing it with a disability, just let me know. I love dialogue. I love comments. Be sure to go over and join the Bariatric Cheerleader on Facebook so that we can continue this community over there, and check out my podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, also called the Bariatric Cheerleader, and we'll see you soon. Bye.